What's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing fine. Alright, so today's video is about a little insight into my life. And so on November the 25th, 2018, my life was changed, was turned upside down. How, you may ask? So on that specific day, it was a Sunday, and just like any other Sunday, I woke up, got ready to go to church and so on. And I was excited to go to church, and when I went to church, it was, in the presence of the Lord, it's just so beautiful, like when I experience it, it's like, it's just extraordinary. Words can't even express how great it feels to be worshiping God, giving Him the glory and the honor and the praise, and just, being in His presence. And so it was good and everything. And I remember a specific elder said worship was going on, and he was like, worship like you're going home to something that will change your life, or worship as if, if it's your last. And so I'm a worshiper. And mind you, I did worship. When I say I worshipped. And I went home, and it was pretty fine, I ate my dinner, it was Sunday dinner and so on. And I went back to church because we have those time COVID never did about 2018, guys. And so I went back to church for Sunday evening service. And I worship in the night too, and it was just amazing. In the presence of the Lord that day was just extraordinary. I couldn't even explain it. And so church was good and everything. And in the night now, I came home, and I was talking, to everybody on the phone, and it's time to go to your bed. And so I was getting ready to go to my bed, and so I put down my phone on the bed, and I was laying down, and I smelled this gas smell, and I was like, what is that? Because I have really bad sinus, so I pick up everything. And so I was like, what a smell there? And I'm like, it's alright. I don't know nothing bad. Anyways, so I went back, and I was laying down, going into, like, getting ready to, like, go to sleep. And I smell it again, and I said, no, I can't take that smell, like, it's too strong. And so when I came out of the room, I got up out of bed, and I come out of the room, and when I went outside, I saw my father and my brother trying to out a fire. And I was like, what is happening? And they said, right, and they said that right there was like really just burning up. And so while they were throwing water on the fire, it was just getting bigger instead of smaller. But if you know from going to science class and so on, once you throw water on gas, it flame, like, it get bigger, like, no joke. And so while they were doing that, it was not outing, and then I realized that the fire started to move from different places. So it started to catch the wires, like, it started to catch every other thing. And so there were other people living in the house, like, it's a big yard. And so the front part had persons there with children and so on. And I was like, I need to alert these people because this house is gonna burn down. Like, I could see it. And so while I was going back to go inside the room, the fire blazed up in my face, so I couldn't get anything. I couldn't get my slippers to put on. So I went out to the front, and I was like, I told the other person there that you need to come out of the house because the house is on fire. God. And I was like, oh my God. And so I was like, Daddy and Dewey, and I need to come out, like, when I need to come out because the place I go burn down. And I go around there, and the person started to come out, and I went through that way, and it just started burn everything. And I ran outside, but before I ran outside, I said to Daddy, I need to come out because the place really I got burned down, but they was just still trying to actually out it. And I went outside, and I was out on the road, and I was like, devil, you lose again. Mighty God, you lose. Like, I was like, devil, you lose. So even though everything was burning down for me, mind you, I just bought my furnitures and so on, and my dad too, you know, I was still praising God. I was saying like, devil, you're not gonna get me down. No, no. Like it was like I knew something was going to come, because you see how the devil stay. Him not like when your life happy and nice, you know. Him not like that. You know, I was out there on the street and everybody was looking at me weird because I was out there shouting and saying, "Yeah, devil, you lose again." And I went down to my church sister down the road and I was like, my house is burning down, and I just started to cry. And was the tights that I had on and a top, not even a slippers. And even though I was saying to God, like, devil, the devil lose. God, I trust you. I was really down. And so the next day my friends came and I just broke down, you know, because it's really hard when you are just trying in life and everything just gets burned up, and like you lose everything, and you're like, what is happening, God? And so for those months after I lost everything to fire, I'm so glad, I'm so grateful that I didn't lose my life, or anybody never, like nobody at all never lose their life. And throughout those months, I was depressed. I wake up at nights and I jump out of my sleep, and you know, and if I didn't have like great friends, positive people around me, then I don't know where I would be, and definitely God, you know. And so it really tear me apart, like really, really tear me apart. I went to counseling. It helped for a time, but after that it was just, it wasn't working. And so yeah, so that's my fire story. But even though I went through that, I came out stronger. So I lost everything, but I still had a smile on my face. And you see, what I want to implore somebody today, that even though we go through turmoils, we go through so much things in life. Sometimes we don't have any food to eat, or whatever the situation is. Remember that God is in the midst, you know. And if I didn't have God at my side, if I didn't have a relationship with the Lord, then I know that I wouldn't be sitting right here saying to somebody that God is able to do the exceedingly abundantly above all that you could ever ask or even think of. Yeah, and I'm so grateful for my friends, my family who reached out, and everybody who played a part in helping me, you know. Every single body. I am very grateful. You know, so whatever you're going through, don't let it get you down. Cry if you need to cry. Yeah, I did cry many times. But guess what? You don't stay there and continue to cry. You get up and you push forward. You understand me? You know, and so that's my story today. I hope it can reach to somebody that, you know, God never fails. He never fails us. We continuously fail him, but he never fails us. And so I hope it reached out to somebody. Remember now, guys, to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Great content over here. Love you guys and stay safe.